And then we can start with the pledge. I know, sorry.
No.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we're starting at 6:09. And
Motion to approve the minutes from July 2nd.
thank you. And second? And Howard second that?
Yes.
Okay.
All in favor?
Is aye.
Aye.
Lost my pen.
All right, sorry.
Story of my
So
life.
approved for that. Well, as you're continuing on looking for the pen or not looking for the pen, you get to do your reports.
Yeah, that's
Your board reports as soon as I find my copy.
Or which each of you have.
There it is. Yep.
I have a copy. Okay, this is the report.
While he's looking for that, Nan says hi to everybody. I stopped and delivered a
Thank
few
you.
cookies to her, and she wanted to say hi to everybody.
Like this organization. Okay, so this is the town board first. You guys have this.
Yes.
Now, luckily, you're going to some of these meetings now, so you can fill in a lot of the gaps. And I've only put in stuff as usual that I think might apply to us.
Yeah.
A lot of others, some of those meetings run like 2-3 hours. Yeah, the right to farm law. This is the Doug Bowles. It's probably a good thing, you know, because hopefully, there used to be an AAC, I think it was called, the Commission for Farmers, that met as well. You know, like the other commissioners that meet sometimes that are not official board meetings. And that seemed to have gone away, and they were the ones that looked out for farmers. And they might still reconstitute. I think Doug mentioned that. Bring that back together. But this is basically a community with farms. When I came up here years ago, I came up here in '68, there was a lot of farms here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you know, what was made Millbrook, the open spaces and so on. So far, we've been relatively lucky. Most of the people who purchased those farms purchase them, and they're not real farmers. I guess you call them gentleman farmers, and they get a tax break because they have horses or something. But it still keeps the land open. And you don't get housing, people buying these lands and putting in houses on them. When I was on the comprehensive plan, we did a study, because some people think, oh, you get houses and you get businesses, everybody's taxes go down. We had Tony Sloan, who was a planner, he was a certified planner, and he was working with me. And he got a lot of research out and said, every time this happens, maybe the taxes go down in this initially, but once you start to get a build out, taxes always go up for everybody. And that's why I was a little concerned when I found that somebody bought Migdale.
It's a private home.
I hope so.
It's a private home.
All right, so I think protecting farms is, you know, good for the environment, good for everybody who lives here. So personally, I'm in favor of what he did with the right to farm law, and it's on the website somewhere. I read it. It's interesting. If you got anybody who wants to read it, it's there.
I read it.
Yeah.
I didn't have any comments. So
It seems appropriate, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
And
appropriate.
if a neighbor has got objections, then the neighbor has the right to go through this arbitration process, but the neighbor still has the right to sue. And that's important if the neighbor has got, you know, real issues with the farming activity interfering with the livability of a home.
Right.
Okay. Also, one other thing I personally like, not just me, you know, it informs new people who buy. The real estate agent has to inform new people who buy in that zone. I think it's 500 feet or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would hate to buy a house and then find out that this guy doing the farming has the right to start like 4 o'clock in the morning or something, and all this other stuff. So I think it's good. I think it's good all around. I'm very much in favor of what he did.
Yeah, I have no objections.
Mhm.
All right, zoning board of appeals gave themselves a variance for not having to show up.
Yep, they didn't have anything.
So they varied where they could be,
Yep.
extended the variance
Lucky them.
to the entire town and thereafter, so they didn't show up. So that's the end of them. All right, Killarn Road, public hearing. The town has formally become the lead agency, and this was at the August 5th meeting of the town. Killarn Road improvements and so on. And planning board, but this is the town
Planning
was
board.
officially recognized as a lead agency at that point.
Mhm.
And so everything will go to the town meeting now, next meeting.
So, we sent our letter in
Oh, yes.
on July, in mid-July, and the Collier's Engineering and Design wrote a letter back reflecting our comments. One of their main comments was that we had not reviewed a set of plans from June. And I still could not find the plans from June on the Town of Washington website. Does anyone have?
And Susan was gonna, she had commented and forwarded us something, but she still didn't forward those, right? That was not one of the things that.
I will go through it almost doesn't matter, because the main thing is that the June plans are not on
the website,
on the planning board website. And for us to make a public comment, they need to be up on the website. And so that's actually the comment I would like to make to Susan.
Okay.
So do you want me to send the note, and also to Aaron and to the Collier folks too?
Yeah.
They've got
Yeah.
the three of them saying that
Yeah.
we appreciate their comments,
And-
but we can't, but where's the June
Mhm.
set?
Definitely, thank you.
So I can do that tonight or tomorrow.
That'd be
So
brilliant, thank you.
it's an email to Susan,
Aaron.
Collier, and Aaron, CC the CAC,
Yeah.
where are the June plans?
Yeah. And then, they're not
And
on the
then
site, not on the
once I take a look at those, we can decide if there's going to be any follow-up letters. I mean, it's quite possible there won't be, but we'll just need to do a deep dive.
website. Yeah, just a little bit more due diligence for
Because
us.
it seems that they have addressed, their letter basically says, we addressed a lot of your concerns in the June plan set.
You're right.
And if that's true, then we really probably won't have anything more to say.
Yep, perfect, thank you.
Okay, we're talking about the Killarn Road now.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right, getting a little ahead here, but maybe it's in this section. No. Okay, at the bottom, nobody from the public was there to speak this time at all.
No, there was no one there.
And the people who spoke the other times were not opposed to the road per se.
Mhm.
They had individual site plan concerns where they were. And the person who was there for the agency started to make some statements. I have no way to check the accuracy. According to him, they're only going to be doing extensions that maybe 2 or 3 feet on the side of the road on average, and some will be less. And
Mhm.
he didn't specify where they were, and what about the ones that need more extensive modifications. Didn't quite know where the wetlands were, or at least presented in a map that was usable for the public. So the CAC, they did mention the CAC will definitely be involved. They were very clear on that.
This is for Killarn Road?
Yes.
Well, the CAC is involved.
No, but they were very clear vocally stating that the wetlands permits will be needed and the CAC will be
Well,
part of it.
So the wetlands permits have already been filed,
Okay.
the applications, and we've already made our comments.
All right, so
So I don't know what else is meant.
Well, there was some question of, maybe I don't remember it correctly, then earlier on, was the CAC going to actually be involved with this and where? And the town is involved, but they will come back, the town is saying the CAC is involved. Then they're going back to the planning board, so
But Margaret and I went to, we did the site visit,
Right.
we wrote the letters. We're going to follow up, but I'm not sure what else
We can do.
we're going to do. I guess that's my question.
So yeah, we're still involved. It's just there's not much more for us to do for what
All right,
for
yeah.
what as soon as we've seen the plans and
Because-
what they've written.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that we'll be, monitoring construction as it takes place. I don't think that's really our role, unless I'm misunderstanding anything.
I think it's just once that it's all on the table, then we make sure
Alright.
that we sign off on an agreement of what we
Yeah.
had made comments on.
well, it's something, how about something like, this is the things that we recommend be done, and are they doing them? I mean, looking at what they're doing and saying they're not following these recommendations, or giving a reason why they're not following
That's
them.
what we have to see their last plans in
Yeah.
June.
Right,
So
right.
once we've seen the June plans, we'll know if because they said they addressed them,
Right, that is.
but we don't. We have to confirm that.
We have to confirm
Yeah,
that.
that's basically, I
Yeah,
think, what
so
our
that's
role
where
is
we-
at this point.
That's what
Mhm.
we're doing.
Confirm that
Yeah.
they're following our recommendations, and
Yeah. So that's done for that at the
Mhm.
moment.
all right, so what else do I have on planning board?
Could we go back to the town board for a minute?
Yeah, can do.
We sent out a letter on July 2 regarding the
Yes.
Mappetsville zoning change,
Yes.
or proposed, or considered, or purported. Did that come up at the town board meeting?
Only that Bob informed me that nothing has been done, that they've put it on on the back burner at the moment.
Okay.
That they had received our letter and my personal letter, and no comment at this point. Like
Okay.
it's something that they didn't give a reason why, just they're stopping.
Okay,
So they understood the letter,
good.
I believe is what it was.
No, they understand more than, sometimes you think they do, but they don't always like it. So they stall sometimes. That's my personal observations with them.
Well,
Mhm.
we'll see what happens in the future if they want to readdress it. So
Well, we'll go back to, if I understood them at the last meeting, the planning board meeting, the CAC, this is all going to the town now. Town is going to do the SECA.
yes,
with
Mhm.
AKRF,
yes,
SECA review. I think it's going to be a type 1 EAF form.
yes, on that. Yep.
And then it comes back to the planning board
Mm-hmm.
at the next meeting. So the planning board gets another shot, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
to what's going on with this project. There's also some people who live on Killarn Road and have hired a lawyer. They hired Josh Mackey's firm. And there's somebody called Chris Mann. I don't know if you know, you lived right next to him, I believe, at one time.
No, but
Or close.
we're members of the same riding club.
Yeah. Chris Mann, and I believe he's, I'm not quite sure what he does. He's some sort of financial or
No,
something.
he's a lawyer,
Lawyer.
At a big firm in
Big
the
firm.
city.
He was involved, I know him from Millbrook Matters. He was involved in Millbrook
Mhm.
Matters when it was started in 2004, 2005. He was one of the early joiners because he's an environmentalist, at least up here. He wants to do the right thing environmentally.
Mhm.
So he's also involved. So Josh Mackey and him and Eve Propp, who lives there, is also concerned, because she has a lot of property on that road. And there's several other names that don't come to mind at the moment. But so there's a group of people who are legally concerned about what's going on there. And I'm saying legally that they're involved with Josh Mackey, the
Mhm.
attorney, and Chris Mann, the attorney, as to what's going on.
Mhm.
So that'll be interesting to see, what proceeds with that at that point. But it's not like some of the projects where there's no opponents that they have to worry about. they do have to worry about these people, take them seriously, and they do.
Mhm.
All right, so that's basically, okay, that's basically it for that now. There was another one that I didn't put on the list because it's old business. There was somebody who wanted to add to their house, and it was a ZBA again, larger than life variance for them to do that. And of course, the ZBA didn't see any harm. The harm is that the town purposely put in these restrictions because they don't want it to grow. That's the harm.
Yeah.
You keep putting more and more stuff, quote unquote, in there with these variances. But I didn't write that one in because it's old business. I think I was in there last time.
Mm-hmm.
Weston Hotel Partners. This is another one of the outcomes of the town hospitality law, which was somewhat, it is what it is. They pushed that one in. And as usual, it's slightly, in my opinion only, a slightly more pro-development than some of the other laws that they, in other places that have hospitality. Because, as I said earlier, I believe, thanks to Tony Sloan's work, the licensed planner, that people think they're going to get a tax break or they're going to make money out of this, but it never works out that way in the long run. Everybody pays a price for it eventually. And so this is one of the hospitality laws. This was a workshop, by the way. So what happened at the workshop is they asked questions, and AKRF, Aaron Werner, spent a lot of time telling them what he thinks they need to do, and maybe this was good for them to find out. And they will be back.
Yeah, well, the main thing I believe they told them is to go and look at what the previous person came to the planning board for. And I don't think anyone mentioned it, but I would have said review the video of it, because, you know, so much was said to them and all the public, what the public's concerns were. They did. They said just go back and look and see what the concerns were. They did tell them most of it, but they said just do your due diligence is really basically what it was. Look at the code, look at the new hospitality, you know, get a good person, a good planner, a good lawyer, and just make sure you review everything before you actually come again before the planning board, because you're just, you know,
It was a
basically
long
wasting your
list.
time.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think he explained it fairly well. You know, these are all. The interesting thing he said that I thought was rather interesting, he brought up the fact that the Cottonwood Inn people did a very good job, but they did not qualify. They had like 28 rooms, and they were only a secondary development, so they only got to have 20 rooms or something, like whatever it said in the code. I think it was 20.
Yeah, they weren't using the adaptive reuse
one
portion of it, so that they couldn't get the 28
They
that they
didn't qualify
wanted.
for the 40.
Yeah.
I think it's
So
40.
that they couldn't increase what they wanted it to
So
be.
there were like 28 or something, and the result was that they're going to tear down the buildings now. It's going to go ahead, but. And then somebody mentioned at some point the Clear subdivision, who didn't do their homework when they first came. I remember the guy and his two people there at the meeting. They thought they were walking away for nothing, basically, and do the subdivision. Probably cost them $1 million or whatever in the end, with all the fees.
Yeah, they said it was quite high.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they gave them a complete list of things to look at. The section in the code, the hospitality portion, and the NRI maps, engineer planners. They said to do, you know, look at all the special use stuff in the code. Get a traffic study after the school year starts, and just come with all of these things. Not to.
Yeah, he gave them a pretty
Yeah,
large
it was
list,
a very
and
large list.
I don't know if anybody told them that it's recorded, and it'll be probably on the website, and they could look at it. You know, I didn't feel it was my place to tell them that. I don't know if anybody.
No,
told
I
them
know. That's
that.
why I said nobody even thought to tell them to watch the past recordings as well from the previous times.
Yeah.
And they'll figure it all
But
out.
it looks like it's going to go ahead. You know that they. Interestingly, Paul Schwartz, the former planning board chair, was there with his wife, and
Yes, he was.
he spoke about some of the constrictions in that area. And they let him speak, and it was nice. All right, that's pretty much what it says here. Aaron
Yep.
Warren led the discussion, took over, which gets to our other point that we mentioned earlier, that it looks to me like he and Steve Marino, the wetlands consultant, are having more and more to say about what goes on. And all right, Riger Homes. This is talked about this a little bit earlier. One of the things, it's pretty straightforward what's there, but it calls into question two things that we're missing in this town. The first one is some sort of a tree law that the village has. That place on that area was all farmland before World War I. It was mainly sheep farm. After World War I, the sheep farm went away. World War I, by the way, as you know, 1918 was the end of World War I. So anything that grew up there is over 100 years old in many cases. And it was mainly maple and oak. And these people are just indiscriminately cutting everything down. So I think, as a conservation committee, CAC, that we really need to do something with a tree ordinance for this town to preserve the environment that trees represent, the rural community, the involvement with fauna and flora that big trees help.
Yep.
We don't have anything on there, and this is another example. These people just moved in as fast as they could, cut all the trees down, almost all the trees. They left a few, but they really cleared an environmental area of trees, which was also cleared somewhat by Skip Safari. Because if you look at what's not his, that's still up there, it's a forest up there still on the other properties. And it's in part of a local environmental community.
Right.
So we, as a CAC, maybe could do something to promote the town looking toward a tree ordinance.
Yeah, and we've
Didn't Shannon work on that?
Yeah, Shannon did, and I thought she said we were going to do it again.
Yeah,
bring it back up.
So I think this is in Shannon's court.
Yeah, right now
But there's nothing legal. That's what I'm saying.
No, I know, but we're trying to address it to bring it legal.
It has to be legal. You can't.
But where this.
But Shannon's working on it.
Yeah. So where this property is in the town of Washington, not the village, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's where Greenbrier is, basically.
Yeah, that area.
That area.
I was there.
By the school bus garages and so on.
Shannon isn't here,
Yeah.
but I think, we should wait to have more discussion
No,
about this.
I'm not saying that we don't wait, but I'm saying I think we need to have one.
No, it's true, and it's what we have. We've brought it up recently.
Yeah.
And Shannon's, it's kind of in Shannon's court, as Pam said. So we'll wait since she's not here.
No, okay, but
we'll wait and discuss that. But it also came up with the planning board last night. If you remember, they were saying about Hitchcock Estate, how they're clear cutting right now. But I don't think they are. I think they're doing selective forestry because they are in the forestry program.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand that at a certain point you harvest X size trees, and
you're required to.
You're required, exactly. So that it's a process. There is a certain timeline that they have to do it, and they have this many. So I think they're in that part of their
well, that's a different
plan.
Property entirely.
No, it's a different property, but it's very interesting that they were the people who live in that area were mortified that trees were being removed, just like you, but in a different spot. And it's even if we have a tree ordinance, there is still the forestry program that you're going to lose trees, but then more trees are going to grow. So it is a cycle.
Well, the planning board's comprehensive plans, several of them now going back, have all wanted to keep the town rural. That was one of the main goals in all of these plans. And preserving trees is part of being rural.
Correct.
Now, that doesn't mean you can't cut down trees, but I believe when we did the Bennett College thing where that guy came and wanted to put in 96 units or something like that, and I think his name was Blumenthal. My memory's not as good as it used to be, but I think part of that on the environmental assessment form is that he had to show trees that were over 8 inches in diameter or something like that. and they couldn't cut them down unless there was an absolute reason to cut them down. You couldn't just go, oh, I want it to look better, so I'll cut the trees down. He was not allowed to do that in the plan. He never came to fruition because he was not approved.
Right.
What happened there is Oakley Thorne came back from Chicago, wherever he was, and the Whalens who were supporting him in front of the planning board at the time decided to support Oakley Thorne's position instead, who wanted to keep that rural and not developed. And so Mr. Blumenthal was left now with no support from the planning board eventually, and that's why that failed.
Right.
But the idea from that report, as it was going around, was that trees of a certain size had to be noted on the plat, and you could not cut them down unless you came up with a valid reason why they had to be cut down for your project, and there's no other way around it. So that's what I would like to see here too. Not everybody's Hitchcock. There are other little places around town that have trees.
No, it's true, and it's something that we're going to wait for Shannon to get
No, but I'm
back.
just,
Yeah.
I don't know, were you there when that Blumenthal development was, on Bennett was taking place?
I don't know.
I don't,
Not quite, my
I think it was
memory
bef-
is
I
not so
think it was-
sharp anymore. I think it was earlier than
I
11
think,
years ago.
yeah, I think it was a long while ago.
Well, all right, so the other thing, as a result of the Riga home, myself being nearby, is something, a noise ordinance and when people can start construction. A lot of towns have things that you can't start construction
Right.
before like 8 o'clock or whatever, and you have to end at a certain time, and and you definitely can't make noise at 6:30 in the morning, loud noises. And in fact, I think the village has one that actually have a decibel number mentioned somewhere about noise.
Well, they should be there early in the morning when the garbage is reversing.
So that's something that we don't have. It doesn't mean that people can't make noise and they can't go out. You mentioned one time people like to shoot for things.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
That's-
New York State law on that, New York State noise ordinance.
A lot of places have them, we don't have them. The village has it, and I haven't researched it myself, but I'm sure there are other nearby towns that have them.
So I know that we go by the New York State for shooting, because you can legally shoot from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., I believe is the time. And I think it's kind of the same for other nuisance noises. Not that things are a nuisance, the backup noises, which the garbage people come in at 6 o'clock backing up, so.
Well, these people, the area up in that section is a low-grade metamorphic rock called phyllite. It's hard. It's not slate. It's not shale. It's very hard to. It's almost like gneiss. You know, am I talking too geological? You know what gneiss is?
Yeah.
No.
It's a very high-grade metamorphic rock that's been melted,
ANIESS.
but it's not
No,
igneous.
that's not what I thought it was.
But it's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And this is phyllite, which is almost as hard. So they were for days and days. They were using a pile driver. It was extremely loud, and they were starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, and that may be allowed at certain decibel levels. They can't stop them in the project, but there should be some regulations as to when they can do that, when they have to stop, and so on.
So construction noises are a part of the quiet hours, and quiet hours are 10 p.m. to 7 a.m.
All right, if that's what the state says.
And that's the state's law.
All right, so now we, not us personally, villages and towns, can be more restrictive than the state. We can't be less.
Correct.
So we can be more constrictive with that
Yeah.
and say that we would like the quiet hours to be 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock or something like that. Because if you're one of the people that I never thought about it much, because I live in a very quiet area normally. Well, not now. Because these people, right where I live on Maple Hill Drive too.
Yeah. So there.
And I don't go to work anymore, so I'm not out of the house like when I was teaching. I'd be down in Mayapack at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so now you know the noises are happening.
I know they're happening, and other people do too. And I'm saying to myself, I think the town should look into, like the village does in other places, a noise ordinance. Because part of our role is the man-made environment. And this is definitely the man-made environment being affected.
Yep.
And maybe it's something the CAC can consider and bring it up. We may not get anywhere with it, but bring it up at least, because that's our role.
Yep. I'll put it down with our tree ordinance.
Yeah, noise
Discussion.
ordinance and tree ordinance, I think, are
We
two
may have-
things that
Yeah.
dovetail with what we do.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And
Okay, that's basically all I have to say at the moment. I don't want to say too much more on this Riga home thing,
yeah.
but there's a lot of behind-the-scenes connection with some of the other people that I mentioned earlier who were involved with it. Oh, there is an interesting thing that came up. When you go to the town website and you go to or elsewhere, you go to the county portion and you look up the parcel access. On the parcel access, there's a section that shows what the county, Dutchess County, on that zoning. God, how would the people that have the code? What do you call those people that? Hate this.
Sorry.
Never used to happen to me.
It's okay. So it's on parcel access?
Yeah, there's a section up there. It shows. You click on the parcel.
Yeah.
It shows the property map, and then it shows how much acreage, and it shows how much it's assessed at. There's also a section that shows the Dutchess County Planning Board code. People to keep the code for the Dutchess County Planning Board.
Okay.
And when you look at that parcel, it's listed as, every single parcel now is listed as $125,000. And it all goes to Riger. There's no individual parcels listed anymore under that section
Right.
where the county code is kept.
So it's one owner at this point.
To all those lots, if you want to go to the individual lot, and you get the same, find it
Right,
somewhere.
but so at the
You get the same code number all the time now.
Right, but right now it's owned by one person.
By one person.
So then it would have the same code right now.
Well, that's the whole point. I mean, there's no individual homes anymore. And this, they disagreed with me again, Aaron, that this is now not a subdivision, even though all those lots now are assigned to him and have the same code number with the county records.
But
More disorganized as usual.
so even if it was a subdivision.
Oh, here it is. Owner's name. I'll pass it to you after. This is what appears at the county website now. For every one of those parcels, you click on the parcel.
Right.
That's what shows up. $1 million, and it's assigned to these people. Which looks to me like this is a big subdivision that he owns with parcels on it that he can use. Aaron disagreed. He said, well, they approved that in 1989, just before, it was Skip's Ferry again, just before the master plan was approved. So he was able to get away with more stuff.
Yeah, so hold on one second. So it's old. Oh no, that's somewhere else. I was looking for the actual address of where it was at.
Yeah. The owner's address is up there.
Yeah, that's the owner's address, but that's not the parcel's address.
The parcel,
Maple and County.
Maple Hill Drive
So-
between.
But I would think it would still be, even if they were different parcels, that they would still could have the same owner.
Yes, but they all have the same notation in the deed book. That's what I was trying to explain.
So
Did-
they bought them all.
Every one of those codes in the deed book that's there
Yeah.
are for every one of those parcels now. Previously, each parcel had its own place in the deed book. with a different number.
Right, but previously when?
Up until this man bought the land from Skip Safari. And this is in 2024, came to the board and redid the parcels, which he redid they let him redo non-conforming parcels, which you can't do. You can't make them more non-conforming.
Where's County Road?
The section in the code, you have to make them less conforming. He didn't make them less conforming, he just changed things.
I'll look at it when I'm on a big screen. I can't really see what that's,
All right.
what that's
So
about.
Pam, you see what I'm concerned with, just made,
Yeah.
there's a lot more, but which would apply
Yeah.
if it was a subdivision, but because the building inspector reserves the right to decide if anybody sees it, it doesn't apply apparently, that all that code just goes away.
Well, if it's a buildable lot, that's when the building inspector
But
has the right to make the decision.
Yes, but most of them are non-conforming lots.
But that's the problem, is like, the planning board didn't understand that. That's
That-
what, they don't understand all the ins and outs of that, which I'll look at it and I'll understand more about what you're saying as well. But they were saying that they thought they were conforming and that they were buildable lots. They didn't understand that they had restrictions.
Even Brian Houston, who was representing Skip Safari in 2024, when he came to make all these changes, was muttering, but these are non-conforming lots, and they require an acre and a half to make them, because you're supposed to make everything more conforming, not less.
Yeah. No, exactly. That
And
is what our code says.
And he said the lots are not conforming. He's sitting there muttering to himself at the plant. Nobody paid attention to him. When they were doing that, all these lots are non-conforming because they're flag lots.
Yeah.
And flag lots require a 50% bonus. So planning board just ignored that. And they changed all the maps around to suit him, which weren't really to suit him. They were to suit Riga.
Right.
Which apparently my neighbor's son plays poker with this very odd little social interaction.
That's
and
nice.
the Riga people were playing poker with them as well, and so I'm sure they were negotiating.
No, they probably won the lots.
I'm sure there was legal negotiations with the Riga people to have the lots drawn the way they thought was better for them. The
Well,
question is it technically legal under the zoning code to do that, though? Because technically those are non-conforming lots to the present zoning code,
Well, they already did it.
even though they approved it
Yeah, it's already been
in
done.
1989 or something like that. They're still non-conforming under the present zoning code.
Right,
So they could stay, but you can't change them
right.
unless you make them less non-conforming, which he did not do.
So I'll look it up and see what you're talking about online. And just out of interest.
No,
to
the
see.
only thing the zoning inspector, building inspector, I asked my friend, I have a friend up at Hyde Park that was chairman of the ZBA forever, very, very smart. And he said that it's actually the zoning administrator who's supposed to do that. And then if he decides it's buildable, then he goes to the planning board guy. But he's one of the same, he's both.
Correct. So it doesn't matter. It's
There's supposed
the
to be
same.
two people looking at that, in that department.
And there should be two people. All right, well, we're gonna move on, Howard.
Oh, that's all I've got,
Yeah, they did mention, you have that one little note about, they mentioned about the code.
Oh, the escrow fees. That's what
No,
you...
well,
what-
they were
what-
they were talking about that as well, but that's not, you haven't got that mentioned.
Okay.
But you have that mentioned that since Joe is no longer the town attorney, remember we were, and that there was a little bit of discussion with the code.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And how we,
I'm looking at the wrong page.
Yeah,
anyway.
and
I mean, it's certainly fine for us to forward the letter to the new attorney.
right.
Do we have the name of a new attorney?
Yeah, well, it's,
There's
Kyle.
I think it's, yeah.
and I actually meant to bring this up to Gary. It's great that we have the new, because Aaron was the one who said it, we now have the new E-code 360, but we don't. we just have another code written out on paper.
Right.
The E-code
Exactly.
360 is not online
It's-
anywhere.
It's not online.
I double checked it today again.
It's not online because there's still a lot of things that need to be fixed.
Correct.
And so I'm happy to.
We need the answers to it. Can we send that email to
Kyle? So I'll send that.
Send it to Kyle, copying Gary, Chrissy, and me.
Okay.
I think is
Gary, Chrissy, and Kristen.
Kristen as well. Yeah, that'll
And
and then just
Margaret.
a blind copy me as
Yeah.
well, and just to get that what we asked, because we need, and because some of the discussion that they were having as well is, there is some conflicts with the code. There's some other things they would have liked to have had the discretion to not do procedure the same and save the applicant's time, but then that's just rewriting the code completely, which I pointed out. And I said, yeah, we can ask the town to eliminate certain things, but you can't really. You have to go through the process of changing your code and how you operate, which there was some more discussion of combining the ZBA and the planning board's duties and having joint meetings, and there's just things you can't do like that. And we were like, no, they're your two different administrative units. You have to do it separately. We can't streamline any of this process through for the applicants. It's sad because they're like, oh, they go here for a month, they go here for a month. Well, that's the process. Some people go
Yeah.
through this process for years. I mean, luckily we don't, but it's in big towns, it doesn't, nothing goes through fast. So I don't know why they think everything should be so quick. I feel bad for people, I do, that are planning and trying to do things, but we do have our regulations that we need to follow.
Because there are consequences, as we said earlier in our
Yeah,
discussions, if you just allow things to happen willy-nilly, and
It's
what do you want this town to look like in 10 years, and so on,
Yeah.
the consequences.
So I think we wanted to set up, we wanted to talk about the grants
Yes.
at this point.
Yeah,
So there are two, so first let's talk about our grant
Yep.
from Hudson River Valley.
Yep.
So we got the grant money approved. We signed the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding. We sent out the RFP to 6 consulting firms.
Yep.
And we are waiting for a response. We also have learned about a grant that was awarded to Chris Wilson, who is working through the Millbrook Library.
Who is Chris Wilson?
He is, I don't know.
Somebody asked me that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
he applied for the Partners for Climate Action grants, and when we were looking at grants, we didn't think that grant was appropriate because we had a clear guidance from our comprehensive plan that an EP district was something that the town should do.
Right.
The Partners for Climate Action grant was really given to develop a broader sort of listening process with members of the community to get their views on environmental preservation. So we've got kind of a narrow specific task, and I think Wilson's work is complementary. It's parallel. So I had a call with him to talk about the grant. He was intrigued. They are just getting their kickoff committee started, I guess, on series of meetings on Sunday and Monday. Shannon, as you've seen through the email traffic, is going to be the liaison between the CAC and this other committee. But Shannon can't attend the meeting on Monday night. I'm going to attend, and had hoped to coordinate with Shannon tonight, but she's not here. But I will attend, not
Good.
to join their committee, but simply to explain what our grant is about and what it is that we're doing. I think the important thing is to talk about how the comprehensive plan is already the voice of the community and already has got a lot of very good language. So I'm going to talk about the role of the CAC. A lot of people don't know, in the community don't know what the CAC is. So I'll talk about the CAC, talk about the comprehensive plan, and I'll talk about our grant. So that is the plan for Monday night.
So Shannon just responded that she's out for work this month, so she didn't remember to tell us that she wasn't going to be here, or she might have told us last month that she.
I don't remember.
I don't
I don't
saying.
remember.
So sorry about that. So
Just
she's,
don't remember. I'm not saying she didn't.
No, I don't remember her saying it either. So it could be me too. So sorry, but thank you, Pam, for
So I will do that.
picking up on that. And you you had said that about the. Actually, no. Sorry, no. I was talking with Nan about that. So you're going to discuss the CAC.
The CAC and our grant.
And our grant with them, and because Chris wasn't familiar of the CAC,
Yeah.
and that we existed basically, and
That would be an opportunity for us to explain to people and possibly,
Get some more-
get some more members.
that's what I had said to him, is I'd love to see
Yeah.
members out of that, because they're all basically in the right frame of mind to
Mhm.
come and join us. And this is basically their process of what they're trying to do is, support our background of what we
Right.
do. So
Mhm.
it's great. Thank you, Pam. And
One other point, a follow-up from last meeting. We had discussed communicating with the recreation director on native plants.
yes,
And I had reached out to her and gave her a pretty good native plant list.
Mhm.
And she wrote back and said that she'd, take it into account when the time was right.
Okay.
So that's done.
good. Thank you. And I know that they are not finished building their
Yeah,
thing or something.
it didn't seem like the time was right. So I
Yeah.
think this will be for a fall planting,
Planting.
or maybe even next spring.
Are they people that we could coordinate with on the tree ordinance that we might be thinking about, or is that not something they do?
No,
No, it's a little.
that's the rec department. No, it's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the partners for climate?
I'm talking about what you're working with, people you're working
Yeah,
with.
so this committee will, I'll be there to learn about what they're doing. And so it's possible that,
Right.
they might be interested.
Yeah, that's my question. Would they be
Yeah, I don't
interested in it?
know.
or
I don't
would-
know.
We'll find out next month once we go through. So I had on my little sticky note from when I first talked to him that I was going to bring it up, because he didn't want to come to see us this month because he didn't have a game plan,
Yeah,
because he hadn't had the meetings yet. So he may be on our agenda for the next meeting as well, to come in after they've had their initial meetings, to come and talk to us as well. So he just didn't feel comfortable with coming before their meetings.
Mm.
All right. On the so yeah, I'm going to bring up under new business now. I'm going to bring up to Gary about, you're going to do that, but I will mention to him again about the E-code, that like we need that to be set and get it up. That was the whole point of all that.
well, except I don't want it up if it's wrong.
Correct, that we need it to review it. And it was brought up because Emily Abrams was on that committee as well. And she goes, what happened to that? We were on that. And she said to me, she goes, we were on this, right? And I said, yeah, we're trying to source it out. So we will
Okay.
reiterate it.
Emily's a lawyer, so
Yeah.
so if you want to forward what I sent to Emily.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find the group emails from all of that and see if we can touch base with some people again, because I'd love to see the committee come back and complete the work.
Yeah, because it's not going to,
It was it was like kind of somebody did that and nobody knew anything that was going on.
Yeah.
It just got approved without the correct.
At one meeting, it was very fast.
Correct. And the people on the committee didn't even know it was happening. So it was a little weird.
And, I personally have a feeling from a little I looked at it, you looked much more, that they changed some of the wording.
not a lot. Not a lot.
No, but
They did change some words, and I was looking at it earlier because I was looking up something that I was discussing with Gary, and it's the wording is some of the words being changed is enough to confuse an average person.
Mhm.
So that's what we're trying to ascertain, is if
And
this-
perhaps the meaning of it as well,
that's what we're trying to make sure, that the meaning itself has not been
You know,
altered.
One of the big things was, about in the original plan, was that you have to first demonstrate that you can't do it anywhere else. There was some language
That's
very
right,
specific.
and that's still in the, that is still in the
That
code,
one
exactly.
is still, there wasn't changed at all.
It was not
But-
changed. So, motion to adjourn?
Okay, good.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
All in
Okay.
favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We're gonna turn this recording off, and I have to see if I can get it to upload.